Welcome, this is Najma Minhas with Global Village Space from New York, and I'm joined today by a Pakistani American, Dr. Asif Mahmood, who is a pulmonologist and a specialist in internal medicine. And more importantly, he is now currently running for the US Congress. It's an interesting point to note that so far, US Congress does not have a single person who is Pakistani or of Pakistani descent. So if he wins, this will be a huge boost to the Pakistani community. Dr. Mahmood, thank you so much for giving me time today.
Thank you, and I appreciate it very much.
You know, I was looking at your profile, and it's very interesting. You come from a small village in Pakistan, and you've come to the United States. How was this journey, and how do you feel the American experience has transformed you?
First of all, thank you so much for taking the time, and really appreciate that. And to be very honest, this is really a true American dream. So many have heard about that, but I am going through this thing. For a person like me to come from a very small rural village, from a very basic institutions, which you cannot even call institutions. If somebody has been to Pakistani elementary school where there's not even a room, you sit under the tree and teachers are not trained and kind of stuff, and you get the opportunity. This shows that South Asia has really enormous talent, genes and brain. If they get the opportunity, they can excel. And I definitely give credit to my parents, my teachers, and community over there for me to get out of there. And I was the first kid from my small village to go to medical school and come over here. I have been always inquisitive all my life. But when I came here, I realized that we have doctors and engineers and business people and well-off people, and people have nice mansions and good cars and everything, but they don't have real power, because I won't see any Pakistani in any elected position. I won't see them in any political arena. And I got involved, and I've been involved in mainstream politics for about 25 years.
Okay.
And
so how have you been involved? I mean, what inspired you to join mainstream politics?
So after I finished my residency, I started going to this doctors convention called APNA.
Okay.
And you would only hear about the doctors want to come from Pakistan. And there's an issue for the visa.
Okay.
And people cannot. And other than that, you would have some relative, some friend who has daughter or son, a parent, somebody is asking for visa, or somebody stopped in the airport and they have nobody to look after. People will be delayed, doctors will not get the visa, there's like so lot of things. And we only go there and have a socialization and nice food and nice clothes and nice jewelry and nice music and enjoy 2-3 days and go home.
Right.
Literally about 18 years ago or 19 or 20 years ago, I was going to APNA. APNA is the doctors' main thing, everybody.
The Pakistani Doctors Association.
Pakistani Doctors Association.
Right.
And I will be doing something political there. Literally, people used to make fun of me. People used to go and giggle behind me. What the hell is wrong with this guy? What is he doing?
Right.
And obviously, you start from something. Then I got involved in my own city in the basic politics. It was about 16 years ago when I was first elected for a state party delegate.
Okay.
There was hardly any South Asian. There was few Indians, but there was nobody there. And then I got involved in different campaigns, knocking on doors, phone banking, doing campaigning, helping whatever needs to be. And I kept on moving up and up from city council and state representatives and Congress and Senate. And I was very actively involved in many presidential campaigns. Like one of the campaigns which I was really super involved was Hillary Clinton's first campaign.
Okay.
I was one of the top few people all over the country, going everywhere. And she lost the election. She did not win the presidential nomination.
This is 2016?
It was 2008.
Oh, 2008,
So
okay.
2007,
When she
2008.
lost, okay.
So she lost, and she didn't become the nominee. President Obama won the election, and she was put Secretary of State in President Obama's administration. I went to see her. I was invited to see Secretary, and the thing I was asked is, so you have worked so hard. What can we help you? How can we help you? What do you want? Usually people would ask for an appointment or something like that. And honestly, on my mind at that time was Pakistani doctors issue. At that time, it is about 2008, it's almost 14 years ago. All I told her is that Pakistani doctors have an issue. They pass exam, they get job interview, they get job offer, they cannot get the visa. More than 50%, more than 60% doctors were denied visa.
Right.
I said this is not only for Pakistani doctors and their economic interest, this is also for the interest of America, because we are deficient in doctors and we need to really work on that.
Right.
And there was no selfish point, and I was already here.
Right.
I had everything.
Right.
Secretary understood, and I honestly admire Secretary Clinton. She really thinks about the community and society. She took it very seriously. And honestly, within 3 years, 98 to 99% of the doctors were getting visa.
Okay. Interesting.
One person who were not getting visa in last 7 years, I am still able to get involved and get them visa and come.
So it's interesting that you say that, this is what inspired you and got you into active politics. Why do you think so few people Pakistani Americans get into politics overall? Because, you mentioned yourself, there's a huge prosperous community, whether it's engineers or physicians, yet you don't hardly see any Pakistanis on the political arena.
Unfortunately, our mindset is still in Pakistan. What is happening in Lahore and Islamabad, what is happening to administration in Pakistan, whether PTI or People's Party or some other political party, they're only interested in meeting and going to mosque and meeting and greeting only Pakistani people they know. There is a phobia, and I don't understand what is a phobia. Our people have phobia. Oh, that party I'm not going to go, people drink. But you don't have to drink, nobody is forcing you to drink.
Right.
Or that party people are dancing and people are doing this thing, and I really get these answers from people. That's why they don't mingle.
Okay, so one thing is that you feel they're not integrating within the mainstream American society, and you think that's the factor why they're not coming into politics as well?
Exactly, that is the thing. They just feel that if they're going to go there, their iman will be disturbed. They cannot be. You don't have to do anything. I have at my home, I have hosted enormous number of politicians, Secretary Clinton and President Clinton and Al Gore and so many senators, and everybody has been to my house. I have never served, and I don't drink. I've never served anybody even a glass of wine. Nobody has objected. Actually, people appreciate that, okay, these are your values and you're doing this thing. But our people get scared and they don't go, and they make an effort to go and do something. And you know what is the sad part is? 90% of the people, when you go and ask them, their question is, I know most of your audience is Desi, so I am going to say that, Sanu ki labega. This is the question, what is in for me in there?
Right.
They don't understand that what you have already gotten is because of the efforts of so many over there.
Right.
And if you think about so many people back there and so many people over here, that is the biggest thing, is karma. You do good things will come to you. So now if you're giving $1,000 contribution or $5,000 contribution, don't think what business or what advantage you're going to get. Just
as an individual. So you think when Pakistanis are not cohesive as a community, they're not thinking on a community level yet?
Most of them not.
Okay.
I see the numbers increasing. I see more people are getting interested. I see people are realizing that it is very important for them to get involved in politics, because in democracy, the real power is in elected hands.
Right.
And if you are either yourself running or you are close to somebody who's running and you are in their part, you can help your family, you can help your community over here and back home. We are not doing it. Any community who have done that, Indians, Asians, Italians and Irish Americans have done that. They've progressed very well. But we are not still there. And unfortunately, we are small enough. There are so many obstructions. There are people whose whole goal is how to disrupt and distract people from doing something good, because they feel that their charm will be gone. They feel insecure. It is not really that.
Right.
If you are highlighting your own people, if what I'm doing today, honestly, it's not from myself. It is for the next generation who's coming. We're going to open doors for them, opportunities for them, and they're going to do bigger and better things.
Right.
So that is the reason.
So it's interesting you mentioned that, because I remember I used to work for Lehman Brothers, and one of the mottos that the bank used to have is, we don't want individual superstars. We want teams, because team building is an essential part of progress for the bank, right? So from what you're saying to me, it seems to me that as a community, we haven't become cohesive. We're not working as a team. We don't understand that one person's success, for example, doesn't necessarily mean the shine is taken away from somewhere else. So tell me about your own congressional district. You're running from CA 40. Do you have lots of Pakistanis there? Are you hoping to get the Pakistani vote? Is that what's driving that progress in your community?
So it is very interesting you asked me this, and this is really a very important question. So interestingly, I'm running in a district which is more than 98% non-Muslims, non-Pakistani.
Okay.
That district has less than 0.05% of Pakistanis, less than 1.5% South Asians.
Okay.
When I was launching my campaign, I was talking to people, everybody was laughing. They thought that, what the hell?
When you say everybody, is that referring to your own community?
No, actually
the whole congressional.
Many people, mostly Muslims, not Pakistani Americans, Muslim Americans, and some people in the mainstream, but many people who knew me. Obviously, I was deciding to run, and many people I was talking to, and they knew I want to run, and they were encouraging. Right. But most people, Muslim Americans and Pakistani Americans and many South Asian Americans were kind of skeptical. They were, what the hell? Why? What is he going to do over there? He doesn't have his community. Most of the people win because they have 30 or 40% Latinos, 30 or 40% Black, 30 or 40% Jewish, or 30 or 40% Indians. How he's going to do that? One great thing about America is, if you are capable, you are sincere and honest, and you have a right passion, you're doing things right, people will look at that, people will admire you, and people will give you reward for that. I have been, as I said, I've been active for 25 years. My major passion has been on human rights. Regardless of fear from anybody, that's what I've been doing. And many other actions I've been doing in the state of California. So when I decided, okay, I'm going to run, we announced it. Literally 3 or 4 people were running from the Democratic Party. Within 2-3 weeks, they went off the election and they endorsed me. Within 3 weeks, I had more elected official endorsement than any other candidate in the country.
Right. I read that within weeks you had 500,000 and within the first month you raised $1 million.
Yes.
It was seen as a huge thing.
Yes.
So what drove that? Why did were they willing to give you this money?
So we highlighted my work. I sit on largest homeless shelter in California's board. I sat on UNICEF board, the Western United States, UNICEF, the Global Children's Health. I sat on largest community college in California's board, helping not Pakistanis, not Muslims, helping those mostly Latinos and African Americans. I was running a free clinic out of a church. Most of the Muslims, they do good things, and honestly, vast majority of Muslims do good things, but unfortunately, everything they want to do is from the mosque. I was doing that free clinic in church because more people can come there, and they're the people who needed it.
Right.
I have done so many other things. I was doing after-school tutoring about 15 years ago in a Latino school whose parents did not speak English.
So what are the big challenges that your congressional district has that you're looking at?
So initially, people had the thought that there will be challenge. So when we went on and we raised money in the first quarter, we raised about 1.4 million. 70% of that money was non-Pakistani, non-Muslim.
Okay.
So people need to know that we are not just having the following, okay, I know many Pakistani doctors, I know some Pakistani people and Muslims, they're giving the money. 70% of that money came from other people who were either in my district, either state of California, all over the country. Then people thought, okay, he knows a lot of politicians, he got endorsement and all that kind of stuff. No, he raised money, but his name is Mahmood. Who's going to vote for Mahmood in that 98% non-Muslim district, which is conservative Christian?
Can people pronounce your name?
Actually, now they can.
That's great. You're well known enough.
And three names cannot be mistaken: Ahmed, Mahmood, and Muhammad.
Okay.
They cannot be anything else but Muslims. Ali can be something different.
Was that a disadvantage for you in your congressional district?
I never thought even for a second, because I was running for merit and for the work I've done. And in spite of the thing that my opponents spent $5 million in the primary.
Wow.
This is the record number of dollars spent by a Republican incumbent to save primary. Even then, I beat her by over 10,000 votes, over 12,000 votes.
Wow. Wow. So what are the issues that you want to highlight in your district?
Well, in our district now, when we launched the campaign, the issues were healthcare, especially mental health, issues were inflation, issues were climate change. But now issues have changed a little bit.
Okay.
With recent Supreme Court decision about Roe v. Wade, there is a huge appetite, especially women of both reproductive age and older women, that is this something which is taking back America? We are going behind and start moving forward. So we see that issue is playing a significant role. Then gun safety
in your congressional district, or you think overall in the election, the November elections, do you think it will play a significant role?
Oh, definitely. We have poll after poll after poll, national polls are showing.
And Roe versus Wade is coming up as a big issue.
Huge issue. But they did study on certain districts, because mine is one of the most competitive districts in the country at this time for
when you say competitive,
election.
What does that mean?
Competitive means that anybody can win.
Okay.
So it's not like any...
So it's a tight election.
It's a very tight election.
Okay.
Very tight election. So they studied this district too.
Right.
And we have gained significant advantage because of that people want to save that Roe v. Wade.
Right.
So same is the case all over the country, but in the rest of the country, it doesn't matter that much as in California, because races are very competitive and tight.
Right. So one of the things that's being talked about is this concept that the red versus blue seats. So yours is one of those seats. What does that mean, red versus blue?
So it's not red versus blue. It's not a thing called red to blue.
Red to blue.
Red to blue.
Yes.
So what happens is that both parties have their congressional committee, which is called in the Democratic Party, it's called DCCC. In Republican called RCCC.
Okay.
It's the Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee. So they are the most authentic committees who handle all the congressional races all over the country. So they evaluate, because they have a lot of money, they evaluate races, which are the races which they can flip. So races, the seats which are presently held by Republicans, but they think those can be flipped to blue. So that's what they call red to blue. So the district is moved from Republican to Democrat. So in the last cycle, they picked 6 races in the country, and ours is one of them. And interestingly, ours is one of the top races on that.
Okay.
So that gives us a lot more authenticity, credibility, and resources. That party will spend a lot of money, and many people who are sitting on the sideline who want to help campaigns, they get a green signal. Okay, yeah, you know what? This is a race you can invest in, and this race can win. So we have seen the change already, and DCCC is already investing in our race.
Okay, very interesting. So just moving back to, I'd like to discuss a little bit more on what are the general issues that Pakistanis face in America? And if you were in Congress, what do you think you could do?
There are many issues. Actually, I mentioned earlier about the visa issue and immigration issue and all that kind of stuff. Those are the issues for mostly Pakistanis who are first generation. They still are involved in getting their people and all that kind of stuff. But what my goal is not really those issues are that important. Obviously, they're important for some people, and we'll take care of that.
Right.
Our issues are when I go to White House, when I go to State Department, when I go to Capitol Hill or Supreme Court, I hardly see any Pakistani there. There are a lot of Indian Americans. There are a lot of Asian Americans. There are a lot of other people. We don't see anybody.
Even Congress has around 7 members who are Indian or of Indian origin.
Exactly. And you see the Filipinos, you see the Latinos, although they have a lot of population, other regions, but we don't have anybody. Obviously, American system is a little different, and we are still a newer community in America. But honestly, it is not as new as a lot of people think. We have done very well in many different areas. Medicine. Pakistanis are one of the most liked doctors in this country. IT. Whoever Pakistanis are there, they are really they are excelling.
Right.
And business, they are doing very well because they are passionate, they are sincere, they are hardworking people. But we want to make sure our children have the opportunity. Not that dad or mom is deciding when they are 6-year-old, okay, you need to become a doctor, or you need to do this and that. They need to open their horizons.
Right.
They need to have an opening.
It's interesting you say that. I've met several Pakistani doctors while I've been here and other people, and I've been shocked. Every single one of their children is studying for medicine.
Exactly, because that is the only opening they open for them. I want to make sure Pakistani kids, when they're in high school, they have an opportunity to work and do internship, whether a judge, or whether a congress member, a senator, or go to Capitol Hill or somewhere else. They have more opportunities.
Right.
They go and do different volunteer works in different capacities and see and probe their interest and their talent and go on that. Especially when kids are in college, we need to have more options for them to pursue their career. So when they have more exposure.
Right.
And when they go there, even into their professional life, we want to open more opportunities. Pakistani businesses are kind of focused on certain areas. Gas station, trucking business, motels, or small businesses. There's a lot more Pakistanis can do, but they don't have much opportunity opening for them.
Okay.
Whereas other nations, what they have done is they have gotten the role. When you have a seat on the table, any opportunity comes, it's a natural thing.
How do you think you can get Pakistanis more involved in politics?
Yes. Once one person like me win and bring an elected position,
Right.
it will boost so many Pakistani American or Pakistani kids that this can be done. Right now, anybody...
If a man from Kadian can do it, they can do it. Especially your second and third generation.
Exactly. Somebody who coming from remote village, Kadian, went to very basic schools, can become a US Congress member.
Right.
And becoming US Congress member is different. Coming and beating in a 98% non-Muslim district, becoming the number one and beating the incumbent congresswoman can do it.
Right.
They can do it.
So you can be a trailblazer.
Yes, we need to make sure we have the glass ceiling broken for them.
Right.
They have a really a hope and ray of light that yes, they can do it.
Right.
If I can be the only candidate running for Congress and former First Lady, U.S. Senator, Secretary of State, and nominee for Democratic Party for President can host a fundraiser for me.
Right.
How big this thing is, just to have that event is really a huge pride.
Right.
That means people care about their work, people care about their, if your mission is right, people will respect that.
Right.
So many more can do that. And honestly, as I said before...
And how do you think, you being a Pakistani origin, in Congress, how could you improve relations between Pakistan and the US as well?
It is very important. Because when you only analyze your relationships doing the Google search and sending in a one staffer to go and read over everywhere and maybe spend a couple of weeks in Islamabad and come and give the report, rather than a person who was born and raised, who knows the chemistry of the community, he knows the dynamics of in their society, he knows what they actually want and what can bring and unite America and Pakistan together.
Right.
And if, as a Pakistani American Congress member, when I will go to Islamabad, there will be a lot more trust. Because they will know that I will not go and just try to hurt them. I will, obviously, my top priority and my first duty is to safety and security of America. But I will do whatever I can to help Pakistan.
Right. The understanding is going to be greater.
Understanding will be great,
issues.
and they will trust more,
Right.
and will be able to do more.
Okay, last question. How can the Pakistani community help you? I know there are only 98% is non-Muslim in your congressional district, but throughout the US, I mean, is there something that the Pakistani community here can do for you?
Definitely. And I honestly believe that this is Pakistani Americans' duty and their obligation. We have done everything needed to. When I was deciding to run, they had doubts. When I was getting endorsements, they still had doubts. When I was getting more traction in the district, they still had doubts. I won primary, they still had a lot of doubts that these are the things. Now I have crossed the final bridge of being in a red to blue, where whole Democratic Party is saying that this guy has a great chance. 6 out of the whole United States, one of the seats on them, that this guy has a great chance to win.
Right.
The only thing which will prevent us from winning is resources. And Pakistanis, wherever they are, they can give $1, they can give $5, they can give $100, they can give the max contribution.
I'm just wondering, because you said wherever they are, does that mean from Pakistan?
They can, anybody can contribute
worldwide,
as long as they have a green card.
Okay, as long as green card. Yes. Okay, it's only green card. Okay, fantastic.
The green card or US citizen is the requirement. Okay. They can be living anywhere in the country or anywhere in the world.
Okay.
They can. And I really get, not from Pakistanis, but other people getting contribution who are Americans living outside the America, and they still send the contribution. Small contributions you get. I can tell you with surety that my campaign has gotten contribution from 50 states, and 98% of the contributions which I get, 99% of the contribution which I get, which I don't know people. Actually, I'm going to repeat it again. 99.9% of the contributions which I get from people who I don't know, I have never met and never will never meet. They are not Pakistanis, they are not Muslims. But they are all over the United States. They're learning about my campaign, and number is quite large. Dollar amount might not be that large, but number of people contributing is very large. So we need to bring this, that Pakistani American needs to care about. They should take it to their group, their friends, their relatives, their people who go to mosque or church or whatever way they go. They should tell them they need to invest into that. And honestly, this will be the best investment they will be doing, not because I am running. It's a Pakistani American taking their message, taking the future of their children to the limelight will be so helpful. So they should do that.
Dr. Mahmood, you are a trailblazer for the Pakistani community, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I really
you.
appreciate so much.
Thank you.